Hello, dear friends. So sorry, I'm at 1 minute late. Okay, so here I am. And today we're going to be talking about how to read charts. So let's see who's here. Okay, I'll say hi. Hello, everyone. Okay, let's see who's here. Hello, everyone. Are you around there? Okay, I'll wait a couple of minutes. And in the meantime, hi, Tooth Fairy. How are you? Hi, Mary. Happy Wednesday to you too. How are you doing? Hi, Judy. Ah, there's Anna. Okay, good deal. Okay. Ah, you Tooth Fairy is such a neat lady. Okay, the Tooth Fairy is such a funny name you found. Hi, Jeannie. Happy Wednesday to you too. So, let me tell you what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about Nermin from Turkey. All right, thank you. You people are awesome. I can't believe you're seeing this from Turkey. How exciting. Nilo, Gabriel Nilo. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much for being with us. You're not, oh my goodness, thank you. Anyway, I will leave Anna to say hello to you, and I will tell you what we're going to be talking about. You know how you have a pattern that you see either on Pinterest or on magazines, and it involves reading charts. So it is it is sometimes very daunting for some to read charts because the symbols and the how do I read it and all that sort of thing. So what you need to do is, let me tell you, I have something that I'm going to be showing you how to make. And this is called the lace columns. Lace Y columns, because you can see the Y, see? So this is a very pretty stitch, and either you can use a stitch like this on Pinterest or in a magazine, and then you don't know how to make it because it's in a chart. So what I do is either translate the chart into line by line, which is what I usually give you. I usually give you the line by line. So for example, like this. And of course, before I send it to you, I make a whole bunch of notes. So all kinds of notes that you need to know before I write it down and send it to you. So let's see, because for example, if you have a pattern like this and you find a chart that looks like this, or a chart or several charts, because it has a continuation. So you know, chart number 1, chart number 2. So it becomes a little bit daunting. So what you want to do in this case is, for example, translate it into line by line if you don't want to read the charts. But of course, in order to do that, please make your symbols are there. And so each symbol has, like for example, that's a pearl, and that's a slide knit, and this is a knit two together, and this is a slide two knit one pass over, that's a yarn over. So you have all these symbols, and this will be like for your 6-row repeat. And write it down, because see, when it's tiny, it's so difficult to see. Let me show you one so for example, there's this one in the magazine, and you really don't want to follow that chart in the magazine. So either you make a copy and make it larger, or write it down and have it done like this, with get some of these, some of the paper with squares. This is a smaller square than normal, and translate it. So you can either write your chart, and then with a ruler, I have one here, then with a ruler you do line number 1, line number 2, line number 3. Anyway, a lot of charts only give you line number 1, 3, 5, 7, the right side, because it means that the coming back is a pearl. So maybe a chart will only tell you every other row. But when it's like this, and you have a chart, and this is a very simple one. This is a 6-stitch chart. But please, when you are doing the number 1, read it from right to left. Row number 2 is written from left to right, because you're knitting on the way back. So row number 3 from right to left, row number 4 from left to right, and all these empty ones, it means it's purl. So that row number, so all the even number rows are written, or you read them from left to right. Although this chart here has the numbers on the other side. So rows number 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are on the left. It does mean that you're going to start with row number 1 as the row number 1 will be the wrong side. No, it will be the right side, but you're going to be, see, it's this thing here. This part here is very, very pretty. And we have something like this. I don't know if I have shown you about it, because I don't remember what I have made. Anna's the one that remembers. Anyway, but see, there's a second chart, which is this part here. And this is a very pretty shawl. Let me see what magazine is. It's very old. It's called Creative Knitting. Very, very old, but it has very pretty things here. Anyway, it does tell you how to read. So when you are from right to left is when you are on the right side. From left to right is the wrong side. So please be aware of that. But if you do not want to read charts and make it in a large thing like this, just write them down. So write them down like I did here. Row number 1, you knit 1, and then the asterisk, yarn over, and then you can make all the adjustments you need later. But write it down, and like that you can take your piece of paper everywhere you go, and doctor's office or wherever you have to sit down and wait. But that's it. It's a very nice thing to do. A lot of these lace patterns come like that. So let me see if it's Sana. Yes, it's Sana. What is it, hijita? What? How is it when you're knitting in the round? Oh, okay. Okay, so let me tell you what it is when you're knitting in the round. Usually they give you a chart, but then they only give you they give you row number 1, round number 2, round number 3, and they don't usually do it in a chart. They usually do it written down. But when you're knitting in the round, it's the same thing. You're going to do round number 1 and then the round number 2. So, for example, if there's a pattern that says round number 1, you knit it together, yarn over, slide, knit, and so you do that on the first round. If you want to knit in the round and says row number 2, purl. Well, since you have all the stitches in the front, it means that if you purl on this side, it will look like a knit here. So that means that if you're knitting like this, you're going to knit instead of purling. So I have a project here that I already showed you how to do it flat, and I'm going to do a video on how to do it in the round because it's a very pretty project. So I'll show you how to do that. But yeah, in the round, you read the charts the same way. It means if it shows flat that you purl, then you knit. You do the opposite of what it shows because you're looking at it on this side. So that's what it is. Okay, how are you knitting in the round thing? I know, Tooth Fairy. That was funny having Anna because I don't pay attention to what you're saying. Anna is a translator. Okay. Okay, so reading charts is a matter of sitting down, make it in a larger squared page. I have this tablet that I bought, and I once I'm done with whatever I'm doing, I have another one there. So, it's a matter of sitting down and doing it. I don't even remember what this is about, but this is a fan and feather stitch. It's a variation of it. So, but it's really, really easy. And remember, when you're knitting in the round, you're doing on row number 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You're doing the wrong side, but showing this way. Anyway, thank you. I hope I was clear about what I'm saying. Was I clear, Tooth Fairy? Was I clear? And not to forget where you let off if you're I know. Okay, not to forget. So I have a student that very often knits. Oh, please, when you're knitting in the round, mark the beginning of your row with a spacer. So like that, where when you start a row, when you finish the round, and you need to go to the next one. So please use that spacer. Even if you have a very easy stitch, still. So when you are in the pattern, usually if you have like a multiple of 12, Many of my students mark every 12. So every repetition, they mark it and mark it with a spacer. So they have the round thing. So 12 and 12 and 12. And when you leave your knitting, you know that you need to finish that repetition. So that's what a lot of people, I have shown a lot of people. Now, if you forget to make note where you left off, usually I mark it. So let me show you one that I have marked. No, let's see if I have one here. Because I did have one. I had one around here that I mark. Okay, I do row number 1 and I check. Row number 2, check. Row number 3, check. I have a cheat sheet. I mean, I really have to, because sometimes the stitch is very intricate and you don't know. So check on the row that you're at, and then make a little line between one row and the other so that you know where you left off. Try not to leave it halfway unless you really have to answer the phone or it's an emergency or something like that. And then you just make a little line there very fast and you know where you left off. So sounds like my kind of problems. Make lines, make your chart. There's a whole bunch. Let me show you. Where is that one? Anyway, I'm doing one right now, and oh, this one is, I don't even know where I left it. Anyway, on this one, it's not that easy. So I think it has 12 rows, 12 or 18 rows, but you have to see the holes are in different positions. So it's very easy to repeat this without really paying attention. So row by row, please go to your paper and mark it done. And if you have to leave right away, just put a little mark there so you know where you left off. It doesn't take very long. So anyway, I type too fast sometimes. Yes. It's in a Swedish. Okay. Of V's. I count a column of V's. Okay. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much. It's your strategy. I typed. Okay. And let me know. Okay. So, any suggestions about what you want me to talk about for next Wednesday will be very much appreciated and welcomed. And a lot of people were, wanting to do how to read charts. And I frankly, sometimes instead of having my ruler, little thing, row by row, it really doesn't matter to me if I do it out of a chart or out of written instructions. I do both ways. But I do, it really doesn't matter. It depends on where I'm knitting, because if I'm knitting with a table in front, I can read it with a chart. If I'm in a chair somewhere, it's a little bit difficult to take your piece of paper with your ruler. But anyway, okay. You're by knit. Okay, you're inventing words now. Okay, thank you very much for being with us. I really appreciate you coming over. Let's see who else is here. Everybody else left? Yena. Yeah, we have Eleni, Shelley. Neat. Thank you very much for being with us, and I'll see you next Wednesday at noon. Thank you.